Assalamu alaikum. Today we will discuss the unit number 3, models of curriculum development. Under this unit we will discuss the different models: the Tyler model of curriculum development, Wheeler model of curriculum development, Skillback model of curriculum development, and dynamic model of curriculum development. Firstly, we discuss the Tyler model of curriculum development. It is the most influential model in the field of curriculum. Is Tyler's 1949 model. It is sometimes known as the Tyler rationale or the objective model. The model provides a framework of how to construct a planned curriculum. The rationale for model is based on the following four questions. The first question is, what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? At the second level, what educational experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes? How can these educational experiences be effectively organized? And how can we determine whether these purposes are being attained? See the model picturization. First one is objective. First of all, we select objective. Then we select the learning experiences, selection of content on the basis of the objective. Then at the third level, we organize all that learning experiences in a sequential way, and at the last, we evaluate the all process, whether we achieve our objective or not. The second model is Wheeler model of curriculum development. Wheeler's model for curriculum design is an improvement upon Tyler's model. Instead of a linear model, Wheeler developed a cyclic approach. Evaluation in Wheeler's model is not terminal. Findings from evaluation are fed back into the objectives and the goals, which influence other stages as well. Wheeler model of curriculum development. First step is aims, goals, and objective. The second one is selection of learning experiences. The third one is selection of content. Fourth one is organization and integration of experiences. And the last one is evaluation. You see, this is the cyclic process. And at evaluation stage, if we are not able to achieve our objective successfully, then this process start again from the aims, goal, objective, selection of learning experiences, and these processes continue until and unless we achieve our objectives and develop a proper curriculum. Once the cycle has been followed, it begins again at step 1 and continues onward to continuously improve the curriculum in the face of any changes that may have been imposed or come about naturally. The third one is the dynamic model of curriculum development. The basic tenet of dynamic or interactional models of curriculum development is that the curriculum development is a dynamic and interactive process which can begin with any curriculum element. The proponents of this approach argue that the curriculum process does not follow a linear sequential pattern. The dynamic model have emerged from a more descriptive approach to curriculum, where researchers have observed the behavior of teachers and developers as they devise curricula. According to Walker and Malcolm, the major proponents of the dynamic or interaction model are argued that the objective or rational model of curriculum development were neither popular nor successful. They contended that curriculum developers do not follow the prescriptive approach of the rational sequence of curriculum elements when they devise curriculum, but proceed through three phases in their natural preparation of curriculum. Walker model of curriculum development is shown below. It has three phases: platform, deliberation. This is the diagram of dynamic model of curriculum development. The platform stage includes beliefs, theories, conceptions, point of views, aims and objectives about curriculum. Then platform stage lead towards the deliberation. At deliberation stage, applying them to practical situation, arguing about accepting, refusing, changing, adapting. And at the third stage, when the curriculum design, making decisions about the various process component and design a curricula. Let's see, read the explanation of these stages. The first stage is the platform. The platform is not merely a statement of objectives or an outline of a theory. The platform consists of a mixture of ideologies related to education and its purposes. These beliefs are rooted on judgment concerning the existing curriculum as well as vision of the way the curriculum ought to be. The platform is the guiding source for the deliberative process, and all decisions made during the process will be judged in terms of consistency to the platform. After a platform, the second stage has been established. The process of deliberation begins as the group attempt to make specific decisions in regards to the curriculum. Deliberation may take on many forms, but the most common form are argumentation and debate. During deliberation, proposed decisions are formulated and alternatives to those proposed decisions are suggested. In this stage, interaction between all stakeholders begin and clarification of views and ideas in order to reach a consensus of a shared vision. At the third level, which is the curriculum design, Walker suggests that the design is best represented as a series of decisions that were made during the creation of the design. These decisions make up two parts of the design, the explicit design and the implicit design. The explicit design is composed of the decisions that were made during deliberation, after a considerations of alternatives. The implicit design consists of those decisions that were made automatically without considering alternatives. Curriculum developers at this stage actually make decisions which are based on deliberation. The next model is skill-based model of curriculum development. Skill-based model locates curriculum design and development firmly within a cultural framework. It views such designs as a means whereby teachers modify and transform student experiences through providing insight into cultural values, interpretive framework, and symbolic system. This model is based on the assumption that the focus for curriculum development must be the individual school and its teachers. That is school-based curriculum development and is the most effective way of promoting genuine change at school level. Skill-based model has five major components. The first component is the situational analysis, which involves a review of the situation and an analysis of the interacting element constituting it. It involves two factors, external factor which include the ideological shift, parental and community expectation, and the second one is the internal factor which includes students and their attributes, teachers and their knowledge, skills and interests, etc. The second step is the goal formulation. Goal formulation with a statement of goals embracing teachers and students' action. Such goals are derived from the situational analysis only in the sense that they represent decisions to modify that situation in certain respects. Program building, which comprise the selection of subject matter for learning, the sequencing of teaching learning episodes, the deployment of staff, and the choice of appropriate supplementary material and media. Interpretation and implementation, where practical problems involved in the introduction of a modified curriculum are anticipated and then hopefully overcome as the installation proceeds. Monitoring, assessment, feedback, and reconstruction, which involve a much wider concept of evaluation than determine to what extent a curriculum meets its objective. The strengths of the dynamic or interactional model of curriculum development. The first strength is it is claimed by the proponents of this model that they are the realistic way of handling curriculum development. Second is by avoiding the obsession with writing objectives and indeed behavioral objectives, at that developers are free to be more creative. The third one is another strength of the model is its flexibility when the development task is approached. The flexibility arises from the suggestion that developers may begin at any point in the curriculum process that is appropriate to their needs. After discussing the strengths, the weaknesses of this model are the dynamic model appears confusing and lacking interaction. Brady states the model is not systematic in the way the objective model is. It has no on fixed direction or sequence. So this is the drawback of skill back model as well. Thank you.